Hi guys, it's Amy and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. Thank you so much for clicking on my videos. I really do appreciate when you come to spend time with me. Before I get into my finished project that I'm going to share with you today, I want to give you a little update. If you saw my video about the spring scarf, I made it in a few different ways. It was a project, a pattern by Pam Gillette, and she made it as a scarf. And I made 2 different scarves as well as a blanket. And then my final project was a wrap that I was not yet done with when you saw it. So here is the update for that. What I had shown you was like 2 sections of the blocks here. That was 1 skein of Caron Simply Soft. And so each of these skeins is 315 yards, and I do have a little bit left. It was getting kind of close, and I didn't think that I was going to have anything left. I thought I was going to have to incorporate another color to sort of do like a border. And I was kind of kicking around, you know, I really didn't like the way that it looked outlined with the other color, and I really wanted just to use the rest of this. So all I did was end up with a single crochet border instead of doing like some little bit fancy like picot borders or something like that. I didn't want to run out of yarn. So this is what it looks like. It's very, very simple. Nothing fancy on the edges either. I just did 3 single crochets in the corner stitches. And it's about 95 inches long by about 15 inches tall. So what I wanted it for is exactly the way that it will fit. It's like a wrap. Oops. So it does cover, you know, a little bit of my back, but I mostly wanted it for arms like this. You could use it as a scarf if you wanted to. It's super, super wide for that, but I know that some people might like that. If you have it wrapped around a little bit, it can be a really big full scarf. But again, I just kind of wanted it to be a wrap. I kind of like those rectangle wraps that you can just keep going until you run out of yarn. Now this one had a number of stitches that I had to do. Whoops, I've dropped it here. A number of stitches, so this one was not just keep going until I ran out of yarn. With the exception that, okay, that made no sense, but I had, I knew I was going to get 2 rows out of this in 1 skein, and so I assumed I could get another 2 rows of this out of the second skein, which I did. And so, yeah, again, it does fit as I wanted it to, just as a regular little, nice little wrap. Nothing too, you know, not full like a shawl to be completely down in your back, but maybe just a little bit on your arms. Whoops. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot of little nicey dresses to wear to things, you know, that I might wear this with, but that's what I was envisioning it when I was making it. So I'll go ahead and list that in the description if you did not, I mean, in the description box, in case you did not see that video of the spring scarf projects that I worked on. And I will list the link to her original pattern as well in there. It's not a tutorial, it's a written pattern, so you've got to be able to read a pattern, but it's super, super easy, as you can kind of see. You just make some double crochets and some chains and some singles and treble crochets. These rows here are treble crochets. So I like that very much. And yeah, I mean, I'm kind of glad that I'm done with it. I'm working on 4 different projects of the same pattern. I love to do that, but when I'm done, I'm kind of done. So that was good with that. And I did use a 5.5 millimeter hook with that. Sometimes I like this guy. When I originally bought it, I didn't think that I liked it, but it's kind of grown on me. So, okay. That was my follow-up. And then the piece that is the one that I want to show you so much, it's a finished project. And when I initially bought this yarn, I didn't think that I was ever going to use it. I loved the way that it just looked in the hank. And I didn't buy it the first time I saw it. And then when I think I saw her first at Midwest Fiber Fest. And it's Honey Girl Farms. And I did not, where did my little piece go? I'm always dropping stuff, you guys. And so Honey Girl Farms, and she was at Midwest Fiber Fest the first time I saw her. And then I saw her, so I didn't buy anything that day. And then I saw her at a pop-up, like a trunk show or whatever they call those, at a yarn store, at YarnCom. And so the same hanks that I was kind of drawn to in Midwest Fiber Fest, when I got there to her trunk show and she had them there, I immediately like was drawn to them again. And then I had to go back and watch my Midwest Fiber Fest video and saw that those were the same ones that I was looking at then as well. But anyway, the colorway is gorgeous. But before I show that, which you already saw in the thumbnail, but she calls this garter robe is the colorway, and it's from her Beauty and the Beast line. And so I had to look up what a garter robe is. And so in castles, it was where they put your robes. But then they also doubled it as a potty so that bugs would not get into your clothing and your robes and stuff. I thought that was very weird. And it was just like an open window out that fell down into the moat. So that was interesting to learn that it was some sort of a storage closet as well as then it became a potty for some people. But anyway, Beauty and the Beast is one of my most favorite fairy tales from long, long ago. And when I was a child, I had some books that were a read along with a tape. So we put a cassette tape. If you youngins don't know what that is, I'm sure you're not watching my channel, but I think most of you might know what a cassette tape is. And so you'd put in this cassette tape and there would be someone narrating the story, and then you would just turn the pages of the book and it would ding when you were supposed to turn the page for the next time you turn the page. So I remember the Beauty and the Beast, the cassette color was purple. It was my most favorite out of all the stories that we had. I mean, this was a long time ago, so we might have only had like 3 or 4, Cinderella, Snow White, you know, and Beauty and the Beast or something. So anyway, so Beauty and the Beast has always been one of my favorites, and I love all the different versions that they put out. I watched them all. I love them all. And so when I saw this colorway again, I thought I was going to leave it in the hank forever because it was just so gorgeous. But I didn't. I did wind it up into a cake and use it. And I actually, excuse me, let me let the dogs in or they're just going to keep barking. So anyway, I don't know where I was. I bought this yarn. I thought it was beautiful. And I actually wish I had a second one when you know, a lot of these fingering weight skeins that I have just one of, I will follow a shawl pattern and then it's just smaller. So it's a little shawlette for your front area here. This is one that's actually a little bit bigger than that, but not quite big enough to be a back shawl. And so I really do wish that I had bought a second skein of this. But it is what it is. I'm done with this project. You know, it's gorgeous. And it's called the, let me jump over here. It is a pattern that I saw by Sirin's Crochet, and it's called the Easy Autumn Shawl. And this one I actually found, and it says it's from 2 years ago. She calls it the Easy Autumn Shawl, and it's from 2 years ago. And then I found that she has another pattern called the Easy Autumn Shawl that just came out in November of last year, of 2023. And it is a gorgeous pattern of these gradient like yellows that she used. It's one cake that changes gradients within the cake. I was trying to rack my brain. I spent quite some time trying to figure out what I could put together to make even a smaller version of this, and nothing's right. I need to come back to this with different yarn, you know, fresh purchase kind of thing, but that is going to happen. And that she used a size 2 yarn on that, a sport weight, and so I didn't have anything of a sport weight that I wanted to use for that. So you'll see another project at some point also called the Easy Autumn Shawl by Sirin's Crochet that I had done. But this one, yeah, so I used a 4mm hook for it, and I've got this little bit left, as you can see. So this is the colorway, and I'll insert a picture here. If you didn't already think this when you saw this, then you're not the same kind of Beauty and the Beast fan that I am. But when I saw this, I immediately saw this picture in my head, and it's just gorgeous. So a lot of these, you know, the pattern doesn't have to be that fancy schmancy. It's not that big a deal. It can be a very simple pattern, but it just turned out so gorgeous. Look at this. So all the different kind of gold, there's like a couple of different shades of the gold as it comes in and out of color. So like right here, There's some good ones where it's like a really deep orangey gold right here. A really deep orangey gold, and then like a lighter straw gold, and then it goes to the white. And then it goes to this gorgeous blue. Can you even take it? I love that blue. And then we go again. So this was a really easy pattern. It's just some shells, you can see. Shells and chains and V's. Shells and V's. We all love shells and V's. But it's a little bit full for here. You could tuck the ends in like that. I like that. You know, obviously over the head type, you know, if you have like a little scarfy thing. But yeah, see, it's a little bit small. Whoops. What's my hand doing today with my ends here? I kept messing up the wrap as well. So here's how big that looks. I mean, it's just kind of like a little thing. See, it doesn't give you too much space. But if you wanted to just have a little neckerchief, you know, they used to wear them like this and then just tie it here. That might be a little easy way to have a nice little covering on your shoulders. Maybe you have a strapless dress on or something. But yeah, thought it was just a really, really gorgeous yarn that I could not wait. You know, once I hanked it up, once it was one of these that I was hanking the other night, or not hanking, caking up, winding up into a cake that I did the other night that I just thought was so gorgeous. But yeah, I really wish that I had bought a second one of these. Now that I have it used in a project, I wish I had a second one of these to make it bigger, like a full size shawl. So yeah, so I'm sure that you've seen Sirin's crochet out there. She's got lots and lots of videos. She's got a really sweet little voice. She's real easy to follow, and you know, I think that there's only so many things you can name your shawls, right? So the fact that she's kind of come up with the same name for two different shawls, I'm not mad. So, and so that was my other point, is that you could kind of connect this a little bit shorter than you normally would. Like normally I like to pull them all the way up to the throat, but here you can, you know, because it is a little bit longer, I just did a little tie in the back, and then you can have it, you know, a little bit more airy, like you're not choked way up to here, you know, you've got a little bit of space. So it's a really nice, the yarn is a 85-15 superwash nylon blend. If you haven't checked out her colorways, I looked the other day, I think I went back out here to see if she had any more of the Beauty and the Beast, and I can't remember now, it was a few days ago, maybe a week or so ago. I thought there was one more like fairy tale name that she had in there. I don't know. Go check her out if you haven't already. Honey Girl Farms. It is sheepandhoney.com. She's got really nice yarn, and she's got a lot, like, so it's 85-15, this deluxe sock blend, but she's got a lot that have silk or cashmere in them, and it's just such a lovely, lovely blend. I haven't worked with those. You know me, I like to kind of stick to my main, but yeah, I love this colorway. It's just so gorgeous. So all right, guys, it's my video for today. I hope you enjoyed your time with me. Have a wonderfully blessed day, and please do come back and see me again. Thank you. Bye-bye.